Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kimberly. So finally I'm filming. It's been a very hectic day. So you guys can see that I uploaded some videos that I was in the hospital. That was last week. And this is just like a story time, like how I got there and stuff like that, and my opinions and stuff. So you know, grab something to drink and eat and enjoy the story. So I've had this pain for the pain started like in January, like this year, and it was really weird pain because I've never experienced a pain like that. So I started getting these pains when I started eating some certain foods, like you know, like spicy and stuff like that. So I started getting them. Like, this is kind of weird, you know, like it's a very weird pain. But I just drank some ibuprofen just to like take the pain, and the pain went away. So I was like, okay, you know, it's not a big deal, you know, it's just drink some ibuprofen and you're good to go. So I started experiencing more of the pain, and I was like, okay, this is not normal. Why am I getting this pain? I'm like, I've never had this pain. And so the day that I went to the hospital was in May. It was last week. So, you know, Saturday I filmed the video cleaning my room, and, you know, I was really active. I was like, you know, cleaning and, you know, doing my stuff. I was feeling good. Nothing happened. So around at Sunday, around like 4 a.m. in the morning, I started feeling the pain. I was like, oh God. It's like, not again. I woke up, I drank some ibuprofen, you know, to go away. And I went back to sleep. The pain got even like worse, like painful. And I was like, you know, this happened to me. I just have to like wait until the pill, you know, does his work. And then I got up, and like I got up around like 9 or 10. I still had the pain. And I was like, you know what, this is not normal. So I went and grabbed an apple, and I ate like 2 apples just to see if the pain went away. And the pain did not go away. I drank some more ibuprofen so the pain could go away. I went away a little bit, but not completely. So I was okay for the rest of the day. And around like 2, I just went to bed. I laid down and watched TV, tried to ignore the pain. And when I got up around like 3 or 4, the pain was, I still feel like a little pain, but it wasn't like painful like in the morning. So I was, you know, doing stuff. I was, you know, washing dishes, doing other stuff. And around like at night, like around 9 or like 9:38, I want to say, the pain started again. I was like, oh my God, like what's wrong? And I felt like I wanted to throw up, and I was like, oh God. So I went to the bathroom, I threw up, and I was like, okay, if I throw up, maybe my stomach will feel good, but it didn't. I still had the pain, and I was like, oh my God. So I went back to bed. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna try to ignore it. And I just shut all I just shut all the lights down, and I went to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep because the pain was right there, and I tried to ignore it and I couldn't. And it was just like painful, and I just felt like I wanted to throw up again. So I quickly ran to the bathroom and I threw up, and I was like, oh my God, this is the second time I throw up. And I told my mom, I was like, you know what, the pain is not going away. I still have a lot of pain. I just threw up twice. And she's like, okay, let's go to the emergency room. So I was getting ready, and you know when you feel you gotta throw up again, that's how I felt. So I ran to the bathroom again, and I threw up. And I was like, what am I throwing up? I haven't ate anything since in the morning. I just couldn't eat anything. I couldn't drink coffee. I couldn't like eat anything because I was not hungry, because I still had the pain. So I was like, what the heck am I throwing up if I don't have anything in my stomach? And so we went to the emergency room. I grab a bag, if I feel like throwing up on the way to the emergency room. I got ready and we were driving, and I threw up in the car. I had my own bag, so just to be careful. So I threw up, and then I was like, oh God, this is not going away. And then when we were getting there, I threw up again. So that was like 5 times. Like I threw up, and I was like, what am I throwing up? I don't have anything in my stomach. So we got to the emergency room. We went in there. The security started checking the bags. I was like, serious? And then I went there, and then they told me, what's your emergency? And I'm like, I have really bad stomach pains. They're like, okay. They put my information, stuff like that, and they put a wristband. And I sat in the waiting room with my mom, of course, and I just sat there. They called my name, and we went to like a room where it has a computer, and they checked my blood pressure and stuff like that, and they asked me questions and this and that, and then a nurse came and told me, how's the pain? I told her 10. It's really painful. So she gave me a shot for the pain, and they took some blood work out, and they took me to the ultrasound. With the ultrasound, they put some gel when you're pregnant, and they checked the stuff like that. They checked, and a nurse took me back to the waiting room, and I was waiting in the waiting room for I think it felt like 2 hours. It was really late at night. It was like 1 in the morning, and there was people there, but there was not a lot of people. So I was just waiting and waiting. I was like, I hope it's nothing wrong, or I hope nothing is bad. So I was waiting there in the waiting room, and finally, a nurse called my name, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna tell me that it's nothing bad. So we were walking, and we didn't go to that waiting room in the first place. We went into to where the bed is, and I was like, oh God. I was like, this is not good. They told me to get into the gown, and I was like, oh no. I was like, if you're gonna get into a hospital gown, it's because something is bad with you. So I was thinking oh no, probably found something, or I was freaking out. I was scared. And I got to my gown, and there was a nurse there, and they told me that I had gallbladder problems, and I think I had gallbladder stones, and they had to remove it. And I was like, gallbladder? I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what the heck was that. And they told me that the gallbladder that was causing the pain, because the pain started here, and it traveled all the way through my back. And that was what it was causing the pain. So I was like, oh God, this is the first time that I stayed in the hospital, and they told me that I'm gonna have to have surgery to remove it. I was like, oh no, I've never had surgery before. This is the first time. So I was like, okay, well, anyways, if they have to get it out, get it out. So they start putting the IV. They put the IV in this this hand, and it hurts like a biatch. And they put me some IV because I was throwing up. I needed some fluids. And then I had to say goodbye to the parents. So I just sat there. It was really cold where they had me. So I asked for some blankets. The blankets were really warm. And for 10 minutes later, I was wheeled up to my room. And they're like, okay, this is your room. This is your nurse at night. She's going to be the one who's going to check after you and stuff like that. I was like, okay, here's the bed. Here's the controls. And if you need us, here's my number. And I was like, okay. And I was like, can I put my socks because I'm cold? They're like, okay. She put my socks on. And I was like, okay, well, it was really late at night. It was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was really tired. And then I went to sleep. The first night I couldn't sleep there because it was in my bed, it was in my room, and I knew I was in a hospital. And like 4 o'clock, or they come and woke me up, and it's like, okay, we need to check your blood pressure and your temperature, see how you are. So I was like, okay. So they put the blood pressure thing, and they put like a little clip here, and like a temperature and under your tongue, and that was it. And then around like 6 o'clock, the nurse woke me up, and they say that I had to get an what was it called? MRI scan. And I was like, scan? I was like, one of those big, you see in movies or like TV shows that you go in there, you lay on the bed and you go in there, and there's like the big screen, like the big cover, like arch. I was like, okay, yeah, I know. And they asked me some questions, and I was like, no, I don't have none of that. So I was wheeled into the MRI. And I was like, okay. So they told me to like lay down. So I was laying down. They put like a big, I don't know what it was. They tied me up, and they put some earphones, and they put in my hand like a little ball so I can squish it if I have any questions, or I feel like I can't breathe or something. So they wheeled me in there, and it started making some noises. I was in there for a while. I was starting to get really like, I mind you that I was sleepy. I didn't sleep well. I closed my eyes, but I couldn't because I was like, and the noise is really annoying. The earphones didn't help too much. And they wheeled me in there, and then finally they pulled me out, and I was like, okay, you're finished. I was like, finally. So they wheeled me. I went to the wheelchair. I went back to my room, and then I just got on the bed, and I just fell back to sleep. So I started watching TV. I went to sleep, and then in the afternoon the doctor came by, and she told me, okay, she checked me. She said, where does it hurt? And I'm like, okay, it hurts right there. So she kind of pushed where it hurts. I was like, yeah, it hurts right there. She's like, yeah, it's a gallbladder. So you're gonna have surgery tomorrow in the morning at 7:30. I was like, okay. It takes an hour. We're gonna do like 4 little stitches, and you're not gonna feel anything. You're gonna be sleeping. So yeah, I was like, okay. So I went and grabbed my cell phone, and I texted everyone. I was like, surgery at this time, and So I was like, oh God. Now I didn't eat anything, and I asked the doctor if I could, drink water at least. And she's like, okay, you can drink some water. So the afternoon nurse came, and I told her, the doctor told me that I can drink some fluids, some, water. She's like, okay. So they brought me some water, some apple juice, tomato soup, and some cranberry juice. And I was like, finally, I can, drink something. So I started drinking my water, my juice, and everything. And I haven't been going to the bathroom either because I haven't had any fluids going on. So I've started drinking it and all that stuff, and I was getting hungry at night, and so they told me, I was like, can I take a shower? She's like, yeah, go ahead and take a shower. So I went in the shower. It felt so good, and then I drank my last juice, and it's like, you can have any more water before midnight. I'm like, okay. So I went to sleep. I was kind of nervous, to be honest with you, because this was the first surgery that I've ever had. I've never had any kind of surgery, so I was kind of freaking out. I was like, how about if something bad happens? So I was just freaking out. But around like 5:30, the nurse came and woke me up, and she said, okay, at 6 they're gonna come for you. And I'm like, okay. So I woke up, and the nurse came, and the nurse put me some like massagers in the feet, like I show you in the video. And I'm like, what are those for? She's like, oh, those are for like, so they get your blood going. I was okay. So they came with a bed. I was like, okay, you can, with the IV and everything. So I went in, I laid down, and they took me to a room, to get ready, and they put me in a room, and I was like, wait a minute, is this where the surgery is? It's like, there's people here, and I'm gonna have surgery here, or what? So I was really confused. I was tired, I was sleepy, I was confused. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but whatever. I'm gonna be sleeping, so I'm not gonna, feel anything. But no, that wasn't the room where they were gonna do the surgery. That was just the waiting room. So the doctor came in there, and she told me, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm nervous, but she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be okay." And the nurse came, where she's gonna be with me in the surgery room. She's like, "Okay, let's go." And I was like, "Okay." So they wheeled me into like another room, and when they opened the door, I saw the big two lights, where the surgery is, and the small little bed. And I was like, "Okay, this is the surgery room that I remember like in the movies." So they told me to scoot in the small little bed, and they put the IV up and check my blood pressure. And I was really nervous. I was thinking to myself, I prayed before I went into the surgery room, because I haven't prayed for a long time. So I prayed, and I was like, okay, I hope everything, God bless the doctor, everything, God bless me, everything is fine. So I went in there. I was really nervous. When I get really nervous, my hands get really cold, and I just get really cold, and I just start like getting a little nervous. My heart started like pounding. I was like, oh God, like, so the doctor, the surgeon or the nurse, put me to sleep. So the last thing I remember was they were talking about like going to the beach somewhere, and then I just closed my eyes because I was like really tired, and I closed my eyes, and from there I don't remember what happened. And then when I woke up, I was in another room, and I woke up, I opened my eyes, and the first thing I was looking around like, like, where am I? I'm like, did they do surgery? I'm like, what happened? And the nurse like, oh, you woke up. And I was like, did everything come out great? It's like, everything come out great. The surgery was fantastic. You were doing great. Well, I was just waiting for you to, to wake up. So I was like, okay. I could not open my eyes. My throat was like hurting. I had like a sore throat, and they wheeled me back into my room. I got into my bed, and I was like extremely tired. If you guys see in the video, I was like, I just got a surgery. I was like woozy, like I just couldn't I couldn't even talk. My voice, my throat was hurting, like I had like sore throat. So they brought me some potato soup, and they brought me some water and some juices. Started eating it, and then I went to sleep. I woke up around like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I woke up, I started calling my sister and my parents, like everything went well. I just woke up from a nap, and the food arrived, and I was finally able to eat. They brought me 2 plates, like I showed you in the video. I was like, oh my God, probably because I haven't eaten for like Sunday, so it was bad. So I ate my food. It was very delicious. I was like, oh, finally. I felt very full. And then after that, after I ate, I watched more TV, and I went back to sleep. I went back to sleep. I woke up again, like around like 6, and then they told me you get to go home tomorrow, which was Wednesday. I got surgery Tuesday, so Wednesday. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, oh yay. And so they came, the surgeon came and checked my cuts and stuff like that, and everything was good. And mind, I haven't checked myself, so when I went to the bathroom, I checked myself, and I was like, what? It's like 4 little lines, 4. So after that, they came in there, and I was feeling a little like, when I used to like get up to go to the bathroom, I was it hurt, And I was like, oh, I don't feel like I don't like pain. But I went to the bathroom and stuff like that, so nothing really happened. In the morning, around like 6:30, I woke up because I wasn't sleepy, so I was watching TV. The breakfast came, so I started eating breakfast, really delicious breakfast. And now the lab came to take more blood out. When I was about to eat, they knocked on the door and I was like, oh yeah, come in. The lab came, they took some blood out, and I started eating my breakfast. And the nurse came and she was like, do you need anything else? I'm like, can I have more water? She's like, okay. So she brought me some more water. I was just laying there, and then the nurse came and said, okay, you're going to be discharged today. And I was like, finally. So I was discharged around like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. So my parents came, I changed clothes, and then the nurse wheel me out in a wheelchair. She's like, do you want a wheelchair or do you want to walk? I was like, I need a wheelchair, I cannot walk. So I got in my wheelchair, they cut the wristband that I had, and then they put me to the lobby, and then there was a car, so I got up, I went to the car. I was like, oh, finally I can see I can see the stores, I can see cars. So when I got home, I was, I couldn't even walk. I have to walk, so I have to grab on stuff because I don't want to fall. So I went to bed and I just watched TV, and they gave me some pills for the pain. They gave me some pills so I could drink them only if I had pain. So I had a little pain at night, and I just drank some pills, and those pills made me sleepy. So I went to sleep. Now, the first day I got to the house, I couldn't sleep in my bed. I couldn't find a position to sleep, because if I sleep this way, it hurts. So I tried to go to sleep the other way, and I was like, I just couldn't sleep. So I had a bad night, and I woke up, and I went to the bathroom, and then I ate, and I went back again, and I went back to bed. I watched some TV, and I took a shower at night, and I just started drinking some more pills because the pain started hurting. So yeah, so now I think it's been like 1 week of the surgery, or 2 weeks, I'm not sure, of the whole surgery. Now I'm feeling better. I can walk more. I can bend, but not bend too much because it hurts. But yes, that's the experience that I had, and now I don't have my gallbladder, and I have to figure out what to eat because they say that I can't eat fried foods like KFC or like a free Twinkie or whatever, but no fried food. So I don't usually eat fried food because I'm a nutritionist. I'm still going to a nutritionist, but I haven't been there because this happened. So yeah, so let me show you. They did a cut here. They did a cut right here, and under the belly button. They're like this. And I was like, oh my god, I wonder how they did it. But they did 4 little cuts. They're not that big, so they're kind of small. So they did 4, and yeah. So it's been a while. I feel good now. I'm not drinking those pills anymore because, oh, excuse me. I'm not drinking those pills anymore because the pain wasn't that painful anymore. So I'm just drinking some ibuprofen. And yeah, so that's the experience that I had with this whole surgery thing. And I was glad that I went to the emergency room because honestly, I just didn't want to go to the doctor because I didn't want to hear bad news. But no, it wasn't bad news. Everybody, has one, and they're gonna experience. Maybe some of you don't have it, or some of you do have it. But that was the first experience for me. The hospital that I stayed in was a very nice hospital. The nurses were really sweet. Everyone was really sweet there. I was treated very good. I wasn't treated like a bad person. I was talking to the nurses, and so they can make me feel better. And, it was a very beautiful experience there. So I don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets at the hospital. They were really nice. So if you guys are watching, thank you for taking care of me, because you guys are really sweet. Some of nurses there watch videos. And yeah, so that was the experience that I had, and it's gonna take a while to recover, because they took something inside of my stomach. So that's gonna take a long time. I have my appointment on Wednesday, which is next week. So she can check how the the cuts and everything are, how am I feeling. I can't really do exercise. I can't lift anything yet. I can't run. I can't take a bath or go in like a swimming pool or whatever. I could take showers, but not bath. I really don't take baths. So I can't do exercise. I have to eat lots of fruit, and I have to drink lots of water. And yeah, so this hand was really puffy because of the whole IV thing. So I felt really puffy, like my stomach was really puffy. I felt like I gained weight, but it was because of the IV fluids. That I had to have some IV fluids, and that makes you a little puffy. But when you get home, you drink water, you go to the bathroom, everything just goes in the toilet, goes away, and you start gaining back your weight. So yeah, that was the experience that I had. It was scary experience, but grateful at the same time, because if I didn't go to the doctor, I just probably still had this pain. But I'm glad that I went, and yeah, that was my story about the whole experience that I had. And yeah, so thank each one of you for all the prayers and the comments that you guys been sending me about my recovery. Thank you so much for that. You guys are so sweet. And so yeah, so that's experience, and I'm here back again filming. See, if I knew I was gonna stay in the hospital, I'd probably bring my laptop and my camera and everything, but I didn't know I was gonna stay, so I just filmed with my phone what I could have filmed, and I was like, oh, I'll just edit it when I get back home. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this story time video, and if you like, do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and push that bell notification so you won't miss some of my videos that I upload. And thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.